other than pressure pushing down on me, pressing down on you. No man has fallen under pressure.
Hello everybody, Bagnome here with another Let's Play episode of Minecraft Under Pressure, episode 11, with the Feed the Beast Unleashed mod pack. I'm your host today, Bagnome, and as you can see from our last video, we are working on a steam boiler. I did some work off camera, just because I don't think you guys would not want to see me getting this, just waiting around for this boiler. So I got the last little bit of steel I will need. That's doing that. One thing I'll note out is that I've finally hit both the redstone and I've struck diamond. And so that'll start rolling in pretty soon. And I might also want to eventually make another set of these, because this thing is, well, it was overflowing. Because I actually had to turn it off just for a second, let it kind of catch up. So now we're going to go ahead and get those steel plates and make ourselves our last high pressure boiler piece. And a high pressure steam boiler that can hold 16 buckets of fuel and 108 buckets of water. And what we are going to do here is reconnect our line. I think I want to limit the amount of electricity going out. That's a good thing about this new system. See these? It's probably going to turn red here in a second. But the these stone pipes no longer lose energy over the distance they travel. That is gone. They'll never lose efficiency. The major change is they have a limit as to how much power each pipe can how much power can traverse through each pipe. I probably want to make cobblestone ones. Cobblestone will allow 8 megajoules per tick through at any given time. So we will need some cobblestone. I got some good. I only need 2, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some redstone. Have the pipes made. Where are they? And we got 2 of these guys. And that'll help us restrict how much power flows through these lines. And we'll keep 8 actually going towards these, so that way I can focus most of my power towards my quarry. I probably want to do the same thing with these. Yes. Actually, I'm not even really drawing that much power, and I am not using them. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. One thing I thought there was a pipe, or a gate that can go on a pipe that can allow power to traverse through the pipe or not. Though unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. I think it was a part of another, I should say an add-on that I believe is called additional pipes or something like that. That allowed us to, or at least it gave us more pipes, pretty much. So you got our nice diamonds. Diamonds. I'm gonna grab those. Go ahead and put this quartz stuff in there. Just a barrel for our diamonds. Put it right there. Oh yes, feels so good to have diamonds. Go ahead and put those pipes away. I also finally made a battery box, which I've failed to do for the last 11 episodes, so I could efficiently charge my stuff. And also one thing I'd like to point out with this version of Industrial Craft, bam, 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 that's just so wonderful right there. There's always a nuisance to have to go into here, then open up this interface, just put electronics into this bat box. Now I can go straight from armor to the bat box. So now that I got this going, or at least I got it right now, I got ethanol being produced, and I'm going to use fuel. The ethanol is going to be used as fuel for this boiler. That boiler is going to power, I'm going to use it to generate both EU and megajoules. Especially megajoules because I need more, because I am running into a power shortage with running these 8. You know, each one is producing 6 times 8, producing 48 megajoules per tick, but that's just not enough to feed this hungry beast. So what I've done is I've just simply disconnected the fuel from the main production, and I'm going to slowly let it drain until it's completely out, and once it's completely out I'm going to move this to another location to make it easier to add additional combustion engines. Now I also probably want to take my fuel, I probably also want to make another liquid tank and store our fuel in that as well. So, what to do now? Oh yes, I know what I need to do now. I have the slot out and I'm just not doing anything. Essentially, oh yes, now I've got diamonds, I can make my lasers, yes. So it's gonna be a while before we get enough ethanol in here, and I kind of want to wait until we have enough ethanol to at least get this thing going, because that's never going to be enough to get this thing going. So I'm going to wait to a good amount. Ooh, where's that coming from? I know where. I don't have a place to store sand. Here we go, sand. I should probably check on that, but later. So while I'm waiting for that was my primary objective, was to get that steam boiler going. But instead, I think I'm going to go ahead and create myself some lasers. Because everybody likes lasers. Go back to where the diamonds were. Ooh, 6. How many lasers? I know that'll make me an assembly table. I need 5 just to make that. I'll hold off on that till more diamonds come in. Alright, so both my plan A and my unexpected plan B will not do this episode. So I think I have enough redstone to at least get started on making an AE system. Oh boy, that's gonna take a lot of power. Well, I'll get the, I think I'll get the machinery in place to do so, and then I'll focus on powering it later. So I think the very first thing we'll need for our ME system is an ME controller. Essentially what the ME controller does, it's the brains of the whole ME network. It lets me know how much power I need, what it all is connected to it, and essentially all that good stuff, and everything else is other one part things. So for an ME controller, I'll need iron, an advanced ME processor, and fluix crystal. The first one, we go ahead and get some nether quartz. So we need 4 of those, so 4 of each of these. So I'll just go ahead and grab a bunch of that, and put this other stuff just out, move all this other stuff out of the way, so it's out of the way. For those are machineries, that counts as machinery, and tools as well. I'll find a home for that later. Pipes go in here. I'm gonna move ingots in here. How are we doing on these? Okay. So what was I doing? I guess I'll go ahead and grab at least a stack of these quartz crystals, a stack of this quartz dust. I should put a crafting table in there. That would be a good idea. Ooh, yes, diamonds. Diamonds. Look at those beautiful diamonds. I wonder if I can see any in the pipes. Well, there are bound to be diamonds down there. Of course there is, or there are. So this, I know a 64 by 64 on average will yield you roughly around a stack. Sometimes I would probably get half a stack. That's the least I've been able to get is half a stack. The most it's probably been about 90. But it averages around a stack. So go ahead and make ourselves 4 of this junk. Oops. Then just grab ourselves a little bit of iron, and of course we need one of those. And it would be nice to get ourselves our assembly table up and running, because it's so much easier just to have that all done in the assembly table, but there's no workaround. Making myself one of these, using that. By getting an assembly table, ME, all need power, and I need more power, like Tim the Toolman Taylor, and I might make a power room, a separate room just for producing power. That sounds like a good idea. Like I said, once those engines are dried up, I'll move them down somewhere else. I'll focus on that later. Right now, I'm just get all the stuff implemented, and then I'll power it. So what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What was it that I needed? Oh yes. So I need to go in here and again assembly table. Makes sense because it's a processor and you got little chipsets. And then of course a mixer too. Because it makes sense. So we need one of these sticks. I guess that'll all work. Where'd that come from? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get some wood. Just one of those handy dandy little tools. Whoops, I probably should actually type out the name. So for one of these advanced processors, I need redstone on the other side, and silicon. Silicon is made from either nether quartz dust or just quartz dust. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put good amount in there. Oh yes. Awesome, sounds awesome. He's super awesome. And more redstone for me. I love the redstone. Now that we've actually struck redstone, I can do a lot more. And see what I mean by overflow? Might have to just shut this down again because so much. You know, I'm gonna compensate for that. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and just cut loose. Or better yet, let's do that. Telling you that slow down. Better save some silicon. I need at least 1 diamond for this operation. Diamond in the middle. Cutting tool on top. Redstone on either side, and a silicon chip. Just silicon. And the quartz cutting knife is reusable. And also reusable tools, say like a hacksaw for micro parts or micro blocks or whatever. Same thing with LRMs, whatchamacallit, micro blocks, stuff like that. Reusable tools that have durability that you use in crafting recipes. They will work in our enemy system when we get auto crafting going, which is handy dandy. So now we will want to toss that thing in there. I don't feel like waiting for it. There we go. Put flux crystal on all sides, and then surround with iron. That was surprisingly a lot easier than I thought it was going to be to make. I guess that's an enemy controller. I guess it's understandable that it can be the cheapest block because it's the most useless. It just kind of represents the brains because every network needs one. So where do we want to put this? Oh yeah, I designed this room for it. That's the main reason I built this room, and how much we got a good amount of space on either side. I'm gonna go ahead and dig into this wall. No, dig into this one. No, it should be this. Which one will be easiest? I declare this wall. Thou declare. Probably wanted to put that off to the side. Of course, let's see, offline power is low, 0 units per tick. Is I forget, there's a calculation, I think it's like 4 EU per tick equals 1 of these units as its 1 unit. But you compare it with both EUs and megajoules. And also down here it'll display all our devices that are attached. And of course we'll also need cable as well soon. But we're probably going to make it anyway for some of the things we're doing. Probably the very next thing I want is the next 2 things I want are an access terminal and a place to store everything. Now, generally you can have chests. It does have chests. Applied energistics. As soon as that loads. There we go. You'll need one of these cards in order for that chest to work. It's essentially like a memory card, or like a floppy disk, or a hard drive, or your Nintendo 64 cartridge, something along those lines. different ones store a different amount of memory, and that is a little different. That's a pattern code. As for when we do start doing our auto crafting, probably the one I want the most is the 64 one. So it's the longest. Essentially, the math breaks down into whenever you put an individual item into the card, that individual just for that individual item, it will initially it'll cost about a byte of memory for, yeah, it sounds right, a byte of memory. You see right there, so it's 65,536. That is something to the power of 2. I believe that's 16 to the power of 2. It all comes into binary, but because it's in binary code, it's like storing binary. It's computer stuff. If you're a computer guy, you understand what I'm talking about. I'm not going to explain it, but essentially, each individual item, if you only have one of whatever different type of item, each one of those will take a byte of memory. Each additional of that item, like say you put one cobblestone in there, that'll consume 1 byte of memory. But for each additional cobblestone, it'll only cost 1 bit. And so if I only have one item, but a lot of it, like say just for a particular thing, then I might use one of these, and of course I'm going to use these to start off with. But I eventually want to make one of these guys, but not at the moment because that's highly complex stuff, which I'd much rather have a auto crafting system do for me. So I'm going to start with an easy one, like that. So what I will want to make now is an access terminal, just for like down here, and then I might connect it upstairs. Definitely that's what I'm going to do, all 3 floors, and in different rooms. But first, I want to place to store all that data instead of a chest, because you can only put 1 card in a chest. It's essentially the same thing. It's essentially the same thing in ME Drive, except I can put up to 16 of those things in there, like 16 of these. It'll take 16 of these. I mean, it'll take forever to get to there. And of course, each one holds up to 63 types of items. So one of these will require of us some glass, 2 ME basic processors, which are essentially the same as an advanced one, except with gold instead of diamond, a chest, and of course some iron. So let's go ahead and make our 2 ME processors first. Require of us 2 gold. 2 gold in the middle, and some redstone on the other side, 2 of those, and a knife. And we'll let those smelt, and I'm going to get our chest ready. And we'll need some glass. I think it was 2 glass. Where was it? Right there. Yeah, 2 glass, and then 4 iron. So it'll be somewhere in there. I guess we're waiting for that. We can start getting our access terminal set up, and what our access terminal will do essentially allows us to access the network and pull stuff in and out of it, and access our whatchamacallits, our ME drive. But I don't need a conversion matrix because we're converting physical matter into bytes, which is kind of ironic because it's in a video game, so it's already bytes. Matter represented. Yeah. Moving on. Those 2 things. Put them on both sides of a chest that will eventually be there. Finally get our glass, and not so finally because we still need our iron. Voila. Voila. Yes. Voila. Sort of. Where is... I might just put junk there. Yeah. go ahead and toss this thing right here. And the next thing we'll eventually need some cabling. You know what? Just 1 second. Red. This goes to black. And that goes to red. Much better. I really just don't have any slime, so I'll be back once, because I need some of one of those lines. So I'll be back to get something sticky. Alrighty, I'm back. One really good helpful hint to keep in the back of your mind: when you are in a place that you cannot find any slime, you need sticky pistons. It is really handy to know that factorization rubber trees produce raw rubber, and you can use raw rubber to make sticky pistons. Yes, you can put them on pistons, make sticky pistons. And if you in a place where you do not have any industrial craft rubber, you can smelt this raw rubber into rubber bars and make rubber bars to make anything that requires industrial craft rubber, which is also really good to know. But in this case, I'm not even sure if I need this. Oh no, I only need this. That's a waste of time. I only need the rubber for when I start making import buses. So I need sticky pistons there. Anyway, access terminal, require conversion matrix. This kind of gets a little tedious. Might make a few of these. Because I need flukes, dust. Let's go ahead and grind ourselves. Oh, nope. I need something that doesn't... No, what does that even do? Let's see. Something that doesn't burn. Pipe. What did that make? Oh, I bet that made plastic and junk. That's interesting. Anyway, you know what? So go ahead and put some of that in there. And while that is doing that, we will make ourselves our necessary item. Go ahead and grab the rest of this gold. Put one of the silicone thingies there. Oops. Gotta grab it. Especially important. I'll just let that do whatever. Which I found interesting. I think I'm just going to do that just so I don't have anything go in there that I don't want. Let it run out onto the floor. What else do we need for this thing? Not that thing, this thing. Of course, more glass. But we will need, of course, that very important, which is why we're making this for us. So let's go ahead and do all that stuff. Our conversion matrix. Yes, make one. Cool. I need more glass. Why? Anyways, dump that in there. For psyllium, I can use it for stuff I don't normally use stuff with. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah. An access terminal. I don't need an ME cable. Let's go ahead and make some ME cable. Let's go ahead and use the rest of this. Our conversion matrix right there. Get ourselves an ME cable. Sit right there next to it. And encase in iron. You'll know right off the bat, AE intensely uses iron and redstone. And of course its own stuff it uses, but the vanilla resources that it uses a lot of are iron and redstone. So let's go ahead and dig ourselves a nice hole. Let's find that terminal. Right there. And actually, let's go ahead and go off to the side so we can get power to that thing. And that on the side there displays something else, but I'll get into that later. For now, let's just put this access terminal right what it needs to be. Oops. And of course, to demonstrate, I probably want to put facades over this stuff later. But yeah, of course I don't have one of those in there. Which I'll work on that later because otherwise it is useless. I can't show you anything. So I'll wait until then to get that done because we have gone past our wrapping up point. Next episode I'll get this working and I might demo the power thing and hopefully get some more power set up to use more power. Power. Like I said, well, not done much. I've been doing a lot on screen. I should probably do a little less on screen and just show the highlights. I get a lot more done like that. I don't know. I think about it. Combination of both, because I do like putting all this stuff on screen because I think it's important to show and knowledgeable for those who are new to modding or don't know much about mods that are, or they've been doing stuff but don't know much about mods. Me personally, I primarily do industrial mods. I'm not too interested in all the arcane and magic mods, adventure mods. But my domain are more industrial type mods. I've never really messed with MFSR or force fields or some of those other ones. Or there's a few I've not messed with, but look interesting. I might get into minus the magic stuff. But hopefully get the next episode we'll work on the ME, hopefully have more of that ethanol being produced for our boiler. Just in general, get some general things done that I've been wanting to get done. Like I said earlier in the video, which I kind of forget what they are. So, I guess I'll catch you guys later, and I'll bid you adieu.